Hey, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Manifesting Abundance with me, Caitlin. I actually just started this and had to restart it. Classic, what is that, technical difficulties. But we're back on and it's 9:01 and we're ready to go. So hopefully this time the screen share is going to work, and it is, so that's great. That was my problem before. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Oh, here we go again. I'm coming. All right, there we go. I might be frozen. I believe. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so Manifesting Abundance, presented by me. So of everybody who's on my team, most of you have heard that I've been inspired by this book written by Doreen Virtue, who is this amazing woman who studied counseling. She has a PhD in counseling, and she's very much into mental health, which of course resonates with what I do. But her big thing is she works with the angels. So the book that this is inspired by is called The Angels of Abundance. And it has such a powerful message that I wanted to do my best to share the basics of it with you, hoping that you'll read the book too and be inspired to manifest the abundance in your life. So that's a little bit about what the training's about today. And now I just want to thank you all for getting on the call and taking the time to be with me and build your Arbonne business by building yourself. And this is a little different than some of the other trainings we have done that were very Arbonne based. This is a very much so personal development opportunity for all of you to think about what's possible in your life. And it's all possible. So what's funny is that when I started reading this book, I saw that it was 11 messages from the Angels of Abundance. And I had been sitting with Sarah, another one of our Arbonne teammates, and we listened to a like teleseminar, a webinar about the 11 laws of manifestation. Now, what's interesting about the laws of manifestation is a lot of people don't understand that it's all of these laws working together to create the manifestation you're working towards. A lot of people, especially in our business and in our spheres of influence, tend to talk about the law of attraction, you know, the book, The Secret, and The Power, which are seriously powerful tools for building this business and building your life. But there is that discrepancy over the hype around the law of attraction because people aren't using all of these laws in conjunction and instead are simply relying on the law of attraction to get them by. So when you combine all of these different laws of manifestation, you'll see that your creation is going to come together a lot more rapidly. So throughout the presentation, I want you to think about how these laws correlate with what we're talking about, the 11 messages from the Angels of Abundance. So just to go through it, to make sure you have enough time to take your notes down about this, I'm going to read each of these. You have the law of thinking, the law of supply, the law of attraction, the law of receiving, the law of increase, the law of compensation, the law of non-resistance, the law of forgiveness, the law of sacrifice, the law of obedience, and the law of success. Now, I actually didn't take notes when Sarah and I listened to that presentation like a little less than a year ago, so I can't go into detail about this, but I'm sure that I'll be learning more about it soon, and maybe that'll be a future training. So for today, we're going to stick to the Angels of Abundance, and the subtitle, that's what it is. The subtitle of the book is Heaven's 11 Messages to Help You Manifest Support, Supply, and Every Form of Abundance. It's written by Doreen and Grant Virtue. Grant is Doreen's son. And again, I know a lot of the people on our team are kind of into a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. So if you don't already know about Doreen Virtue, make sure you Google her and allow her to help you shine your light even brighter in this world. So the first message from the angels is to ask for help. And this is one that I realize that I have really been struggling with forever. Personally, like literally just this past week, I've been dealing with so many car issues and all of these things that are manifesting opposite of what I'm really working to manifest. But as soon as I started to ask for help, I realized how easy everything could be versus how hard I was making it for myself by trying to do it all on my own. So really, with what we're doing with Arbonne is we are asking people for help. We're asking them to take a look at what we're working to do with our business and support us in some way, whether that's buying a product or two or starting a business themselves so that they can help you help them. So the message from the angels and in the book, we're saying to really get crystal clear intentions on what it is that you want to manifest. You have to really know what you desire. So you have to get clear in your desires and claim them. So not only just think about what you want, but write them down, say it out loud, share it with people so that you can start to hold yourself accountable for what you're working to create. Because whether or not you're consciously creating what you want, you are creating whatever's going on inside of you. So you have to take control of your mind so that you can really manifest the way you want to. Some things you want to avoid that will prevent you from asking for help as well as receiving the abundance is you want to avoid feeling unsure about what you want. Instead of being like, maybe this is what I want, maybe that is what I want, you have to have crystal clear intentions. You don't have to worry about wanting the wrong thing or feeling that you don't deserve, thinking that you're being selfish by wanting that. You have to keep the faith that everything will come together, and we're going to get to that in the next few messages. But once you ask for help, and that's the thing with the angels, is they're always there waiting to help you. And just a little disclaimer, the angels aren't some winged beings that are going to come in here and like swoop you up to heaven. But the way that I'm talking about is this higher energy, this higher frequency that wants to come in, help you lift up higher and create what you're envisioning in your mind. And I know if you're on this team, you have big dreams and you have beautiful creations that are waiting to be made. So keep the faith that it's all coming together, and have gratitude that not only that you have this vision, but that the help is available to help you manifest it. You have to believe in the power of your thoughts. So you have to believe that by asking for help, you're going to receive it. And some ways that you can ask for that help come through prayer for some people, affirmation, as we'll talk about later, visualization, writing things down, setting your goals. When you really make these things concrete, you make your thoughts even more powerful. So now let's go through the rest of the laws. I think this one is the most important because that higher energy cannot come in without you asking it to come in first. You have your own free will, but you can choose to align with the divine will and what's meant to be for you. And that's what we work to do. We work to inspire people to live up to their truest self and to follow their divine blueprint of life. So the next message is that the how is up to the universe. In the book, she says the how is up to God, but I do understand that putting that term on it makes things more complicated, and a lot more people in our generation like to refer to the higher energy, the higher being, as the universe, this big collective oneness of everything. So when you realize that everything is going to come together through the universe, you don't have to do so much yourself. You kind of surrender your control to the higher power. That's when things start to kind of come together like magic. So it's battling logic versus it's kind of a reasoning and logic thing versus imagination in a sense, but it's the logic of the illogical. People try to put numbers on everything and make everything black and white, but the spirit moves through so many colors that we really can't put a word on it, even though we really try to. So The how is up to the universe, that surrendering that is surrendering to the spirit versus surrendering to your own ego that tells you it's not possible and you need to work harder and you need to struggle and you need to work 40 years in order to have the life that you want. So the next thing that let's fix that little typo there. The next thing that we're talking about is true versus false guidance. So how do you determine whether it's the spirit talking to you or your ego? Because we all have the two wolves inside of us, they say. It depends which one you feed is the one that's going to come out victorious. So we want to be able to feed our spirit. And we'll go into some ways that we do that in the next messages. But some things that come up are, everyone can notice signs and be like, oh, wow, that must be a sign that I should do this, or that could be a sign that I can do that. Or maybe you're dreaming and you think of something, or you're daydreaming and you have this inspiration. You have to trust what makes you feel right and just follow that gut instinct. You become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if the false guidance tends to give you uncomfortable emotions, if you're doing something that's not right, you're going to feel not right. So you have to do things that make you feel right so you can fulfill the prophecy of what you are trying to create. The next thing is the power of deservingness. A lot of us feel that we don't deserve wealth and health and all of these things that we work to share with everybody in Arbonne. So this is actually a very powerful exercise in the book, and I can't go into too much detail, but again, that's why I recommend reading the book so that you can really meditate on all of this stuff. But one thing you want to think about is, who are your abundance role models? Who did you learn about money from? For me, it was my parents that had no money, and they were everything, it was always lack and limitation, and I wasn't allowed to do that, and I couldn't do this, and I was so much in this poverty mindset that did not benefit me and did not benefit anybody around me. But then I also had my mom's parents, my grandparents, who were not quite, super wealthy and ritzy, but the supply was always there. The universe was always taking care of the family. And of course, my grandfather worked very hard to do that, but that also, this is what gave me my idea about what money is, and how you have to work hard to get money, and how if you don't, then it's not there for you. And it was all very mixed up. So you have to really meditate on your past and your childhood and how you learned about money and who taught you. And then that'll help you realize, how do you talk to money? And there's a whole exercise in the books that helps you. It's kind of like therapy in dealing with money, which is so important for us to do, because since we're so surrounded with the media that's trying to scare us and talking about this economy and all of this stuff, we tend to have such a negative connotation to money. But we deserve to have that money because we're people who want to make the world a better place. And with that fuel, we can actually do that. So by going through these exercises she outlines in the book, you deal with the lacks and limitations that you've put on yourself throughout the years, whether it was you consciously or something that's built up over generations and generations through your family. You deal with that stuff so that you can remove those barriers you created and pass those boundaries to really reclaim your true value, which is beyond anything that you can even imagine. I want you all to really affirm that you deserve to have more love and abundance than you even know how to ask for, because you do deserve it. And I truly believe that for every person that I invited onto the call tonight. So the next thing you want to think about is really just releasing all those patterns from your past that have created this fear within you that stops you from moving forward and claiming everything that you deserve. So that's how you start to tap into the abundance mindset. And when you're in this abundance mindset, you no longer have the lack and limitation. So there's no reason to fight or chase after people, especially in this Arbonne business. We don't need to convince anybody that this is what it is. We know what it is. So there's no reason to fight over it. There's no reason to cry over it. There's no reason to chase anybody. Not saying that I haven't done that, but I've learned through those experiences that it doesn't produce anything. What you need to know is that the supply is unlimited. There are so many people out there that are looking for this. It's just about you getting out there and doing it, which again, we'll get to in a few more slides. You have to remember that the economy has nothing to do with you. All that negative stuff in the media is not your true value, because you are an invaluable piece of spirit that nobody can put a price on. So you have to avoid getting into competition and being jealous of others, because again, you have to know there's enough to go around. There's enough abundance for everybody to have that abundance. And we are the people who are creating that as a reality. And that's what's going to really change the world. And we're doing it. It's beautiful. So you have to remember that this abundance, you're not going to actually tangibly have all this money or all this luxury and all these zeros in your bank account until you really have that abundance within you, and you have that unlimited value within yourself that is already there, but you need to believe it. And that's what the abundance mindset is. Once you tune into that abundance mindset, that's when you really start to manifest the abundance that's within you. So let me take a sip of water. Okay, so high energy equals fast manifestation. And just to keep this simple and not ramble on for a long time, think about what I love with Arbonne is we are all about purifying people. We're helping people purify their body and release the toxins that weigh them down. If we're releasing this heaviness, we're creating a faster moving energy, a more efficient body, and that's what's creating opportunity for faster manifestation and better lifestyles. So some things that come up when you try to tell people to get healthy is, well, maybe when I make more money, I'll start to eat healthier because I'll be able to afford it. But that's backwards, because if you start to eat more healthy, your body's going to start to run more efficiently, and you're going to have that unlimited value within yourself that you'll start to manifest that abundance. So a lot of people, it's kind of the same thing as like, I'll be happy when I get a new job. No, just be happy and you'll attract the right job. So when it comes to eating healthy, a lot of people are like, I don't have the money to do it. Then it's like, well, start eating healthy and you'll manifest that abundance. And of course, exercise is another way to get that energy moving. That goes without saying. Daily motivation, personal develop. I did a spelling error there too. I was making these notes during work today. Personal development, that's what being on this training, listening to what's going on today, reading this book, reading any book related to whether it's network marketing, whether it's Arbonne, whether it's just something that interests you and makes your spirit sing. That is personal development, that's motivation, and that's making your energy vibrate at a higher frequency. And that's what we want to do, is help you elevate your frequency to your truest pitch so that you can really radiate your brilliance, which is like, I think that's what we're all about, is helping people find that inner light and really shine it with the confidence that they are that light. It's a really beautiful thing. So then the next thing, this is the big one. I remember months ago when I was talking to Kathleen about this book, it took me so long to read it because I had such a huge abundance block because of the poverty mindset that I was raised in. So we were talking about this and I was like, Kathleen, this is the one that we really need to listen to. We do this visualization. We believe, we know what Arbonne is, but we need to get down and do the work. We need to make the phone calls. We need to book the appointments. We need to give people samples of these beautiful products that they are going to love. Do the work. Just do it. The system's there. What's beautiful is we have this team to inspire each other in our life, in Arbonne and beyond Arbonne. But we have to remember that Arbonne is right there and they have our backs. We just need to plug in to the unlimited energy that they are, because Arbonne is abundance. I mean, you follow Debbie Neal on any of her social media or you listen to any of her calls and you'll be like, that is what Arbonne is. And that's what I want us all to be, because we are that. So in order to do the work, we have to become mindful of our delay tactics, whether that's food, using substances, shopping, going on the internet, playing games, worrying about things. Those are things that stop you from doing the work you need to do to succeed. You have to stop being afraid of taking risks and just do something different, because if what you're doing isn't producing the results you're like, you need to change what you're doing to produce the results you want. And that involves taking risks, stepping out of your comfort zone and trying something different. It's about overcoming your fears and just getting out there, putting yourself out there. You have nothing to lose because you have something beautiful to offer. And just the little oysters bullet there is one of my favorite illustrations of what we do with Arbonne. It's like shucking oysters. You know, not every oyster is going to have that pearl inside of it. all of them are still going to have great, delicious oysters. I mean, if you like oysters, I think they're great until I become a vegan, if that ever happens. But anyway, the oysters, but sometimes you are going to find that pearl. So think of the other oysters as people who support you, people who say no, people who just want products, but you're going to find the pearls, and they're going to be your Debbie Neals, and they're going to be the people that inspire you to work harder and do the work even more so that you can build your success with Arbonne that is so meant for you because you deserve it. The next thing is to visualize success. And again, this is just like a very sneak peek into the world of what Doreen Virtue and all of this higher energy, almost metaphysical kind of stuff opens up. It's a whole world for you. So I want you, if any of this piques your interest, to go and do your own research, and then you're all felt the leather, and like we're in the Mercedes dealership or whatever, but like now every time I'm driving my other convertible, I like feel the leather and I imagine that it's the Mercedes-Benz leather. And doing that kind of stuff, that's the magic of imagination, because your brain actually cannot determine the difference between when you're dreaming and when you're awake. So if you use your brain to visualize and consciously control the way that you're literally daydreaming, you can not trick your brain, but make your brain understand that that's the reality you're creating. So it's a really interesting concept, and if anybody ever wants to talk more about it, of course I'm available. You're all my super homegirls, and maybe homeboys if you're out there. I don't know, dudes. But some tools you can use to help with the visualization is candle gazing. Journaling is huge, because I know I didn't think I was a very visual person, but in the book they address that. But for me, being able to write down what I want to do was a very helpful way of visualizing it, whether it was making also vision boards. I didn't put that on here, but visually putting your magazine pieces together to create your dream life, or writing down what you want to do in the different years, or literally writing with great description like where you want to be and what you want your bed to feel like and what the sand will feel like between your toes when you're on that MVP trip to Maui and we're all there together. Like, who's sitting by you poolside in Hawaii? Who's there? I mean, I'm there. I see all of you guys there with me. And that, of course, connects to the goal setting. When you commit to the numbers that you want to hit, that's a way of visualizing your success. I know I have think I'll be back. OMG, guys, I think I'm back. I hope that this is still recording. Oh, someone's watching. Hey, out there. Okay, that was selling us out, so I should pretend there's like 100 people on this training, because soon there will be. But I'm back. I'm going to finish up. It won't take long. I might go a little over 9:30. Let's get back to our presentation. My computer just dies sometimes. You see, I'm really working on manifesting this abundance. Like by the end of this year, I'm going to be able to afford whatever apartment I want. Of course, I'm not greedy, so it's not like that's crazy. But I'll have a new computer. I'll be so comfortable. And the only thing that really allows me to think that way is Arbonne, because even my lovely full-time job, which is just like so great, doesn't afford me that lifestyle. It makes me struggle, you know, and it's hard. I don't want to have to struggle, but I love that Arbonne gives us that ability to dream and think bigger, because again, I've been doing this almost 4 years now, and in the 4 years I've been doing Arbonne, nobody has given me a better opportunity or made me think, like, there's been nothing that makes me be able to dream the way that Arbonne does, and I love that we all get to dream together. So the next thing is a really powerful tool, positive affirmations. Let's see if I can remember my Arbonne ones. I wrote them down a while ago. Haven't been saying them lately, but they were, oh, I am serving others with my Arbonne business. That's a really powerful, constant affirmation to say, because it's a reminder that this isn't about me. I am serving others with my Arbonne business. And then I have, I own a white Mercedes-Benz paid for by Arbonne, and that's more of an acquisition manifestation, because it's something that I know is coming to me, but I have to affirm it now as if it's true. So acquisition is when you're trying to get something you may not have yet, but you're not trying to. You're affirming that it's on its way. And the other acquisition affirmation I use is, I am a 12-wide executive national vice president with Arbonne. I'm not there yet. I'm not even a district manager yet, but I am going there. And when I think of it that way, it's about being a 12-wide executive national vice president. It's not just about having the Benz. It's not just about being at the top of the company. It's about getting 12 of my friends to the top of the company with me. And then it's about getting even more. Another affirmation you can use is an emergency affirmation. If something, say that you were in a really tight bind and you needed to manifest $100 real quick, you would say, I have $100 sitting in my car, and perhaps some type of magic would make that happen. Again, read it in the book to learn a little more about the different types of affirmations, but you can also Google affirmations for all types of things: personal development, weight loss, sleep problems, all these things. And of course, we can all work together if you want to form your own unique affirmations to serve you. Because by becoming Arbonne business partners with me, you're not just becoming my Arbonne business partner, you're becoming, we took our relationship to a new level, and anything that I can do to help you, I will do so freely and so happily, just because I want you to feel that you can do the same for others. So another thing about affirmations is you really want to stay positive. You want to avoid any negativity, and then just thinking in life in general, you want to avoid that negativity in people, places, and things. And you want to protect yourself from the toxicity that you can't avoid by using that inner light, or using your positive thoughts and using your personal development. And you have to start to take note of the magic that surrounds you, because when you become aware of all the good things that are happening and you're grateful for all of that, you start to manifest more of those great magical things. And that's how you stay motivated. If you do these daily affirmations every day, you resonate at that energy. So that's something I am still working on, is waking up every morning and saying my affirmations so that I can bring myself to that place every day. All day, every day. We have to work on keeping our focus. There's all types of tools and techniques to help with the visualization and affirmations, such as candles and crystals, which I know a lot of our team likes, and yoga and meditation, which is another thing a lot of us are into, and again, journaling, like I said before. And then there's creative manifestation all the time. You just start to think, just think about what you want, and just imagine what's possible. There's so much more I could say about this, and I don't want to drag it out too much longer, but when you really keep your focus, and that's going back to having that crystal clear intention of what you're working to create, instead of being distracted, you zoom in, you get that tunnel vision, and that's how you accomplish and manifest. This is a big one, is allowing yourself to receive. It's kind of like asking for help in a way, is being open to all of the abundance that wants to pour onto you, and being open to the mystery of how you're going to get it, because sometimes we try to control everything and bring abundance about our own ways, when in reality, if we just surrender that control, we'll receive so much more and we won't struggle as much. So you have to learn that it's safe to receive and balance your giving with receiving. And then the seagulls and driftwood was this interesting kind of note in the book, is to start to notice the things that are coming around. I know when I'm really on an Arbonne high in life, I start to see the white Benzes everywhere. Like every corner I turn, like there's a Benz behind me in my rear view mirror, and I'm like, I'm gonna be in you one day. It's great. So you have to be open and allow yourself to receive that guidance that surrounds you. The seagulls and driftwood, it's like when you're out at sea, the sailors, when they start to see seagulls and driftwood, they know that they're coming closer to shore. So the same way with this Arbonne business, when you start to meet people that are into health and wellness, when you meet vegans, when you have somebody that's looking for a baby line, notice that as these people that are just hints of your impending success, because as long as we all keep going with this, the success is coming. And ultimately, the final tip is to keep your divine contract. You have to keep your word. Live with that integrity and live your purpose. Figure out your why and remember your why. If you haven't talked to me about your why, and you should be able to share your why in less than 2 minutes. My why is because I'm a dreamer and I'm a doer, and I know that Arbonne is going to give me the tools that I need to really change the world in a way that nothing on this earth would allow me to do. I want to just serve this planet, and I need the freedom to do that, and Arbonne is my vehicle for that. So you should have a way that you can sum up in a minute, like, why are you doing Arbonne? And if you don't, and if that makes you nervous, then let's just have a conversation, because you'll understand your why, and you'll get so clear, and that's when you'll feel like you're set on fire. I remember listening to Debbie at a leadership conference, and I felt my soul spark up, and I was like, oh my God, I am Arbonne. That is how I'm going to be of service. And that's the next thing, is if you get nervous, focus on service. Going back to the idea that I am serving others with my Arbonne business. It's not about you, get over that. Notice that when you radiate your brilliance, when you put your light out there, you give other people the opportunity to do the same thing. And that's what we're doing here today. So today and every day, you guys are so awesome, and I know that everybody else is going to tune into this when they get the chance. Sorry about that minute delay there in the middle, but I'm so excited for what we're going to create, and I really hope that you guys keep dreaming bigger every day, knowing that you have this community of people who support you and want you to create everything you want, manifest more abundance than you can imagine, and really live the life of your dreams. So have a peaceful night, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Mwah!